This week's edition of Word in Review, which is a brief summary of the message preached at the Faith Dimensions Ministries in Wilburton, Milton Keynes, England. The message was preached on the 8th of December 2024. That's this past Sunday. Bishop is ministering on a series he entitled The Overcoming Church. This Sunday, the message was The Overcoming Church, Part 2. The subtopic was The First and the Last, which is how the Lord Jesus introduced himself to the church in Smyrna, one of the 7 churches in Asia Minor that in the book of Revelation, the core scriptures was Revelation chapter 2, verses 8 to verse 11. Smyrna, Bishop intimated us, is taken from the same root word with the word myrrh. Myrrh was one of the 3 gifts that the wise men brought to the Lord Jesus Christ when he was born. It's a spice. It's used to embalm. Smyrna was one of the only. In fact, it was the only church that the Lord was not. The Lord did not say anything negative about. It was a rich church. Smyrna, its city itself, was a wealthy place. There were a lot of rich non-Jews in the city. Lord Jesus Christ, in talking to that church, commended them. He said, "I know your works." And that "I know your works" is a common theme that the Lord Jesus Christ said to all the churches. I know your works. I know your works. I think it's important that as we get towards the end of the year, for us to sit back and reflect on our works, whether what we are doing is pleasing to God, whether it meets the standard and expectation that God set out for us, or even we ourselves set out for ourselves at the start of the year. God knows our works, that which is obvious and that which is not so obvious. Bishop said that the city was filled with wealthy non-believing Jews, and it was this same non-believing Jews that became the main problem of the church, because they had gained recognition. They had gained the recognition of society, and they viewed the message of Christ, as a situation in which some Jewish guy was being exalted, and they fear that it will impact on their position in society. So they ended up being the ones that persecuted that church, making it difficult for them. So it became very difficult for believers to gain ascendancy in society. It became very difficult for believers to do well in their businesses. They were challenged at work. They had difficulties, doing the things that they needed to do to succeed in life. Bishop said, God knows our works. And he said that when you stand for truth, the world will come against you. When you stand for truth, and this is so true. When you stand for truth, just let's look at our contemporary times. You speak the truth, you become a target. You speak the truth, truth is vilified, and all manner of people are the ones speaking. In fact, these days they even say my truth, as if truth can be personalized. And Bishop, one of the things that I took home was when he said that the bigger sin for the believer is in the midst of the storm to look for another God. That's the bigger sin. The challenge is not that you are facing opposition. The challenge is what you do in the midst of the storm, in the midst of the opposition. Don't look for another God. And then Bishop also said that we don't have to be poor to be rich spiritually. We shouldn't excuse poverty. We should fight it, because that's not the ultimate for the believer. God has given us the land. God has given us the earth. We should insist on walking in victory. But Jesus does allow stuff to happen. Jesus allows stuff to happen to purify us. And the Bishop ended the message by talking about the value and the importance of joy. He said we should never lack joy, because if any man that is joyless, any person that is joyless will attract oppression. Many are oppressed because there's no joy in their lives. Joy is not a product of things. Joy is a state of mind that appreciates the faithfulness of God in spite of, and is assured that God will not fail. So it's a very powerful message. I encourage you to go and listen to the whole message again, even if you're in church, because faith comes by hearing, and hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing by the word. May God bless you richly as you reflect on your works. God bless you.